Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Today I'm sharing some cards I made using Spellbinders June 2022 Embossing Folder of the Month. It's called Botanical Diamond, and I'll also be using the large die of the month called Paisley Dreams. If you are interested in any of the June club kits, I do have links provided in the description box below. For card number 1, I have some craft cardstock for the background. I added a lovely white paint splatter. I'm layering that piece on some dark blue cardstock, then I'll add my card front onto a card base. I've already cut out all of the die cut pieces, and I decided just to go with solid cardstock this time. I'm a huge pattern paper fan, but this time I decided to dig through my cardstock scraps and see what I could create. I chose patriotic colors with the addition of some teal. I'm using white for that large background piece, then adding all the tiny little die cut pieces on top. There are several different options for the paisley design. I really like this one with that larger flower. The die set is really fun since you can add a lot of different layers, or you can go on the simpler side. It really is optional. I'm using Barely Art liquid glue for my adhesive, and it does help to have a pair of reverse tweezers to pick up all these tiny die cut pieces. I misplaced one of the red flowers, but luckily I found it buried on my desk. I really like the look of the flowers all being red. For the leaves and the stem, I'm using that same teal cardstock color. For the outside bottom leaf on both of the flowers, the leaf does sit on top of that background red flower, so you do have the option of putting the flower to the front of the leaf or behind. This time I decided to have the leaves in front, but for my second card I had the flowers in front. Now I'll add the large flower behind the teal stems. I have red cardstock for the main portion of the flower, and I use some white glitter cardstock for that smaller piece that goes in front. Now I'll put some liquid adhesive on the back and adhere this piece onto my card front. Trying to make sure to get good coverage so there isn't one area that pulls up. Then I'll adhere that in place a little closer to the top of the card. I want to leave enough space for the sentiment. For the center of that last red flower, I use some more of the white glitter cardstock. Now I'll adhere the sentiment hello. It's so nice that the die set includes a sentiment, and I love that they went with a nice general hello. I'll glue down the sentiment using some liquid adhesive. Then to finish off the card, I'm using an assortment of Spellbinder Essential Gems. I have the Crystal Mix and also the Sapphire AB Mix. I'm using that blue sapphire color in the center of the flowers. And for the small red flower in the center of the paisley, I used the smallest size of the Crystal Mix. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. I love the clean design, especially with the pretty patriotic colors. And I think the craft cardstock really brings out those pretty colors. For card design number 2, I'm using the same patriotic colors, although I won't have any of the craft this time. For the background, I'm using this beautiful teal, and this time I use the embossing folder. I'm using the deboss side. I put some ATG tape on the back and also a little bit of liquid adhesive along the very outside edge. Since I'm adhering this onto some white shimmer cardstock, I want to make sure it lays down nicely. I'll put my card front onto a card base, and all of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size. I will be adding an oval die cut, and I use Spellbinders Fluted oval die set for that. With that beautiful embossed background, I don't want to cover up all of that design, so I decided to cut that oval out of some vellum. Now I'll assemble 2 of the flowers. I have 1 of each size, and I also have the sentiment hello. I use some more of the shimmer cardstock for the sentiment. I'll adhere this sentiment onto the oval first, then I'll add my 2 flowers above the sentiment. I'm not attaching the oval to the card yet. I first want to add my images and sentiment. I'll attach the larger flower on the right side, then the smaller flower can tuck in on the left side. I did a better job with the flower placement on the card I didn't record. For this card, that large flower should be slightly to the right. I didn't leave as much room for that smaller flower, but it still worked out fine. So once those are all adhered, I can flip over my oval and add adhesive just behind the die cut pieces. That way none of the glue will show through from the front of the card. Then I'll adhere my oval to the center of the card. You can still see that beautiful embossed design on the background. To finish off the card, I'll add some more gem stickers from Spellbinders. I have the red color for the center of the two flowers, and I'm adding some of the smallest Sapphire AB gem stickers around the flowers. So there is my finished card, and again, I did make two using this design. Even with all of the dies that are included in the set, it's easy to make some simple cards just focusing on a few of the dies. And by using the embossing folder for the background, it really adds a beautiful detail to the card. Now here's another look at the 4 cards I made using Spellbinders June 2022 large die and also the embossing folder of the month. If you are interested in any of the club kits, I do have links provided in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.